Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders. I hope you are exceedingly well. And in today's cryptocurrency technical analysis, I'm going to be doing a CRV DAO technical analysis. And I'm going to show you where the levels are, where I suggest you take longs, take shorts, and obviously not financial advice, but these levels are important to look out for as long as you get bounces and rejections off those levels. So also, why I'm doing the technical analysis is because I got a request on my Bitcoin analysis yesterday from BC. Great video. Can you analyze CRV DAO token? And I like to interact with my community. So just to thank you guys for communicating and commenting and liking. So I'll get into the technical analysis. So I'm looking at the BYBIT chart. BYBIT is a great exchange, by the way, and have a look at the links in the description of the YouTube video. If you create a BYBIT account, and depending on what you deposit, you can get up to a $4,000 reward when you trade. Great exchange. Let's get into the technical analysis. As you can see, we've been trending up since the 18th of June. High, low, high, low, high lows, all the way up to where we are currently. And we've had high highs all the way up till this point on the 29th of July. And then we've had some lower lows. So if we look at our trend lines here, there are two major trend lines that are kind of starting to converge. The upper trend line, you can see we've just had rejections right on those trend lines, and 157 seems to be really a sticking point. But I want to turn off that upper trend line. Locally, we've got a bit of a symmetrical triangle that's been forming. And what's happening now is that these 2 points are starting to converge. And at some point, there has to be a breakout, either to the upside or to the downside. Obviously, we have to be cognizant of what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is at a major support level right now. It's been bouncing off the $24,000 area. And have a look at yesterday's video for that analysis. But depending on what Bitcoin is going to be doing, will depend on how we trade this. Obviously, the best thing to do is when you get to the bottom of the channel, you can see here, we've been respecting the bottom of not the channel, rather the trend line. And it's better to long at the bottom of the trend line and to short at the top of the trend line. But if you see price getting to this trend line and going right through and retesting as resistance, then obviously don't take the long. And the converse is true if you get right to the top of the trend line and breaks through and tests as support. So let's look at some of the other areas that are areas of interest. And I've drawn a couple of levels here. And one of the major levels for me right now, and where price is at right now, is this weekly level at $1.31.60. As you can see, we've bounced very nicely off that area. If I turn back my trend line again, it coincides with this lower trend line right here. Also very interesting, we seem to be trading in a range right now between this weekly level and between this daily level. Obviously, we've had a couple of wicks and price action above that, but this here is the basic range that we have been trading in for the last couple of days since the 30th of July. And if we draw a fixed range, you could say we've come into this range from about here. We can see where our value areas are sitting. So our value areas are sitting right at that $1.24, just below where this wick is, and confluent with this lower trend line. The upper level, or the value area high, you can see is sitting at that $1.46 level. So possible scenarios that could play out is that we could see price come down, retest this as a resistance, come down to this value area low. Very important for this value area low to hold. If we break through this, retest as resistance, we're obviously going to see lower levels down to that 117, 107, and obviously there are levels lower down, but all dependent on if Bitcoin is going to hold. Also, if we come down, bounce again off this trend line, we could come to the POC and the value area high. Bullish scenarios would be if we break through this value area high, retest it as support, and go up higher. Once again, check my video out that I did on Bitcoin yesterday. Very, very important levels right here at this $25,200 area that Bitcoin is hopefully going to break out. If we break out above this, the alts are most likely going to run with it as well. Okay, so what I can do, there are a couple of FIB retracement levels that I want to show you. There's one level that if we draw it from the last lower high before we broke down into this range right here. And that is if I draw it from this $2 area, let's just see, yeah, and we draw it right down to the low, the complete swing low. You can see we've got a golden pocket reversal area in this area. And that's basically where we've been rejecting. A lot of confluence in this area. There's a daily level. We've got our range value area high there. So if I turn on my value areas, you can see them. So let me turn off those levels so you can see the range value area high. And obviously you can see there's a daily level, FIB, golden pocket, retracement or reversal area right there. So this area right here is very, very strong resistance. And interestingly enough, if you look at this big drop here on the 11th of May, it's very similar to the big drop that we experienced on the 12th of June with Bitcoin, albeit on a different day. But if we break through these $25,000, $26,000 areas on Bitcoin, we might see a very quick run up to that $27,000, $28,000 area. And I think it's going to be similar with Curve. If we break through these areas here above this range value area high, retest as support, I think because of this, there's a lot of single prints here, not a lot of liquidity. I think we'll run very quickly up to that $2 area. So that is the very, very short technical analysis, just on 7 minutes. And if you like this idea, please give it a thumbs up, comment, follow if you are on Tradingview, subscribe if you're on Bitcoin, and remember to click that bell icon so that you can get notifications of when the next videos are coming out. Until then, safe trading. I hope you are profitable in your trading, and I'll see you next time.